We were asked by a group of elders to create a free Indian market show. And the show has grown and grown and grown over the last 7 years. And I asked the elders in the beginning, what did they want their show to be? And they said, oh, we want to go back to the good old days. I said, really? What does that mean to go back to the good old days? Oh, first of all, it needs to be free. How many in this room like free? There you go. So every artist in our show gets a free booth, and all their costs are raised for them, and so that way they have an opportunity to speak directly to the collectors and form friendships and cultivate this relationship just like Maria Martinez did over 100 years ago. And one of the things Maria did that was a secret to her success, and I tell this to many Native artists, is that she kept these little cards where she wrote down the name and the address of each person, and eventually they got telephones, and she'd even write the telephone number down. And then every time the Pueblo had a special ceremony, or like a feast day, she would write them a little postcard and send it to them. The same thing was true when one of their grandchildren was born, and they would send a notice, and she would send it out. And when the grandchildren graduated from high school, they would invite the collectors to come and attend the graduation ceremonies of these Native American children. And it formed this wonderful, wonderful relationship where non-Indian people, for the first time in their lives, felt accepted and comfortable to make friends with Native people. When they made those friendships, then they began collecting, and every year families used to travel from all the way to the East Coast and Europe just to come and get their photograph taken with Maria Martinez and buy one of her little pots. Is there anyone in the back room that can't hear me? Okay, you can all hear me then. Okay? And so Maria was a genius, and her husband, Julian, was a hard worker, and he was very artistic, and he painted her pots. So I always said, you know, I'm that hard worker, but it's my wife, Angie, who's the real genius. She's the one who makes it all happen. If you can give her a little appreciation.
Stand up, Angie.
Okay. I just want you to know the purpose of tonight's party is to keep the free Indian market free. It's going to take each and every one of you to keep the free Indian market free, because we're a unique show. We're different than every other show. Every other show wants to get their hands in the pockets of Native people and make the Native people have to pay. But I always said, they're like the superstars in the Super Bowl. Well, you know, John Elway never had to pay somebody to perform in the Super Bowl, and Native people shouldn't have to pay either. So at the free Indian market, everything is free. So, at the end of this show, I and my wife will retire. We must step down for Native leadership to step up. The goal is for the show to become all Native owned and Native operated. If we succeed and they succeed generation after generation, that this little baby right here, you see that little baby and this little baby over here, they're going to have inherited the same booth space as their grandparents had or their great-grandparents had, and they'll be making their pots and coiling them. And they'll be going out with their grandma to collect clay from Mother Earth and singing those traditional songs and learning their language. The most important thing, to learn the language so that way this culture can go on and on. These people represent the core root cultures of the American Southwest. They deserve all our love and support. Now, last thing I'm going to say in this intro is, I need to see, where is Barbara? Oh, there she is. Where is she? There she is. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen, and then it's going to happen, and then you're going to have a wonderful experience tonight. So, first thing, what's going to happen? The first thing that's going to happen is an elder is going to come forward and perform a traditional blessing ceremony, okay? And I want you all to be quiet when he does this. And he's a very highly respected man. I'm about to introduce him. Then secondly, there will be traditional dancers from San Ildefonso Pueblo will come out here and dance for you. But remember that these dances are not just like a performance. These are spiritual dances, and that these are sacred. And these are things we should have great respect for. And to have these dancers come here tonight to do this ceremony for us is something you're going to remember for the rest of your lives. And you're going to tell your children and your grandchildren about the day. And you're going to squeal with delight like this little grandbaby right here. This is why we're doing this, so that way, in every action we take, in every decision we make, we think first and foremost about how what we're creating here is going to affect 7 generations to come. Now, you are free to get up after the dance performance. You're free to get up and bid on the silent auction items. These items were donated by the artists themselves, although I tell the artists they don't have to donate anything, but they do, and they're generous. And some of them have come from the great collectors who are here in this audience, people who have been the great patrons of the arts here in Santa Fe for the last 40, 50 years. They're here tonight also. I know it's so fun, isn't it? We're just having such a good time. And I want you to bid with enthusiasm, because this is a nonprofit 501c3 educational organization. And your donations are tax deductible. I know, I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain that.
It's not tax deductible, sorry.
No, he's talking about your meal, okay? And anyway, let me finish.
I'm handling the monkey day. We are under the New Mexico Foundation.
Right. We are under the New Mexico Foundation. In the future, when Native people take over this show, their own organization, not under the wing of New Mexico Foundation. It will be up to them to decide. They will choose a replacement for me, for Angie, how they want to run their affairs. And we hope and wish for them great success. But please bid on the items that are in here in the room tonight. And 100% of the money goes to the Free Indian Market, minus 10%, which goes to the New Mexico Foundation, right? Right, see? I'm listening to my wife. I've learned something over the last 25 years of being married. Listen to your wife. So, now we're going to begin our presentation. There will be other entertainment for you this evening. But right now we're going to introduce one of the former Pueblo governors and Tewa man of great distinction. Listen to him carefully, because this is a rare opportunity for you to take a peek into the real, authentic, traditional native world in New Mexico. Without further ado, put your hands together for Walter Dashinoff.